But I got a call when you walked onto set. I remember Nagi calling me and just that first day of shoot with you, and Nagi called me and said, I just had to call and tell you that we shot our first day with Kamal sir. And I was like, I
He
missed
never
it.
told
but
me.
He called me. I was in
happy to hear
Bombay and it was a long break because I mean obviously we were shooting in different schedules and I hadn't heard from him in a while, and I see this missed call from Nagi. I was like, what has happened? I just called to tell you we shot our first day with Kamal sir. Like a child.
That's what made this film.
Yeah.
That child. We hope this child will also make it.
So Prabhas, you've always been very quiet and simple and don't give many reactions on set. But but somebody of your stature who is now presently, I've always wondered how you feel or how you felt when Nagi came and said this to you.
When Nagi said first time,
Because when I first met him and we met on set and all that, we went through this whole procedure of who's going to touch whose feet. So he came and said, I'm just touching your feet. And so then I said, okay, let's stop it here. This whole business. And then in a very quiet, private moment, he said, sir, be prepared to break a few bones and this and that. I've been, this guy has made me break bones here, there, and I've been jumping here and there in Bahubali and so on and so forth. So I was wondering, how is it going to happen? But that's the detailing that I was talking about, your father. He's so simple, so down to earth. You can't believe he's there on set every day.
He's the first person.
And he's actually monitoring what the artist is being asked to do. Hey, don't put this, don't make him do this because that's tough for him. But the way Nagi programmed everything, he said, sir, don't worry, we'll just use close-ups and we've got dupes and we've got harnesses.
And it is not about the number of cameras or number of crew.
Exactly, yeah.
It's the quietness of the set which I enjoyed most.
I remember the message.
Because that's lacking in most sets.
Yeah.
The noise should be inside and in the theatres, not in the set. So everybody is talking in indiscipline, which I found that Mr. Nagi could speak in his volume and still be heard. He mumbles, but he still heard in the set because that's how quiet the set is.
I ask these questions, because in my time we never had all these facilities. So if we had to jump from the second floor, we actually jumped. There were no harnesses, you break your ankle, you break your leg and everything. So it was a wonder for me how they are going to be able to do it. But I just marvel at the technology now. Kamal, you must have been through a lot of all this earlier on.
I think we have invested by breaking so many bones now.
We never had these facilities, Prabha.
Yes, sir.
Never had them. And to be able to now be part of it. And to have, little cameras like this who are recording everything on digital. For us, as you may be knowing that, celluloid film was the most expensive item in the budget of a film. Because it was not available. It used to get imported from Kodak. And to save celluloid film, you had to be sure that your first take was okay.
Yeah, that's a reputation.
You can't make a mistake. I mean, I remember Rishida used to say, Rishida, just one take. No, one take, okay. He's saving celluloid, but he's also satisfied with it. And if you insisted that, take, you pay for it. It's like that. We never had an opportunity to see, monitors.
No
and we were not allowed to go near the camera also. You have to pay a fine if we
they'll all applaud.
If you got a chance to look through the...
Nothing, never allowed. Not even allowed to go to the editing room. I mean, it was impossible. You saw yourself for the first time on the day of the release of the film. So all this has been a huge experience and a learning for all of us. Which is why, and Prabhas, I'm very sorry, all his fans.
The first time when we had a fight, you caught me here, and I thought
In the movie.
In the movie. So I thought Amitabh sir, I need to be careful and all. He got me so hard, and this man is not whatever he's saying. He's some 25, 26. And I told him, he's so strong.
No, but a lot of things we did, we never ever expected we could manage this. And that is what is so intriguing. When you see the scale of this film, as we've all seen and been involved in, I mean, what does a producer go through when they see all this huge scale and the kind of dream and the vision that he has? It's impossible to imagine that.
I think in the beginning, it took us time, sir. Like, for example, I mean, he told us a story, and I remember it was in the morning around 10 o'clock or 11, and it took us 2 days to get out of it. And then when we started pre-production, I think one day I called Swapna, and we were in it like 5 months into it, pre-production, and we were designing stuff and like trying. I called her and I was like, we're in it and I'm not able to sleep because I don't know if we will be able to make it, because you have to make every single thing in this film, like pen to paper to every single thing. And their deadlines, they're big actors, and so we had like a lot of sleepless nights, and then we got into it. Once we're in it, we're like...
There's so many conflicts for her as
like
a wife, as a sister, as a producer, and as the the lead on production. So there's so many different hats that you're wearing. So where do the lines...
Actually, for this
Where do
film,
you draw
I think
the line?
for Mahanati, we had lines because it's like a 1-year project. But this is 4 years. I think there are no lines. It's just like, get go, like, come on, war, it's... But it gets difficult, but also it gets very easy because when you're a family, so you're always talking about the project. You're always talking about what is next, what's the next schedule. So it definitely gets easy. But
Flip side,
it has...
that's the only
it has.
But what I feel, Kamal, is really admirable is that we have two ladies looking after this massive production, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, some of the visuals you've already seen in the trailers, but to have two women actually in charge and to see it executed, and today we sit here to talk about the film and the kind of production that it has come out, and the kind of visuals we've seen has never been seen before. I mean, it's just quite
I was just talking about Sholay.
Yeah.
It's like that, like nobody has seen horses fall like that.
Exactly.
Nobody has seen machine guns going off like that. And nobody has seen a villain talk like that or a hero behave like that. Everything was new about it. I think that's the same effect. And I know where you're getting the confidence from. Your father told me the story about how he became a producer. He just went and stood in front of NTR's house for so many days that he noticed this face and he said, why is this young man, he seems educated. And he called him in, and that's how the connection started, and he became a producer for NTR. And the name 𝐌𝐸𝐺𝐵 film was given by Mr. NTR. So that's
What a wonderful story, we never knew all this.
that tenacity of purpose.